This content is for educational purposes only. What you do with this information is at your own risk. Thank you for watching. Enjoy.
How's it going, everyone? Welcome back to another video. Today's video we're going to be updating the sys module mission control. This version supports the latest switch firmware, which is 16.0.1. So let's go ahead and check it out. Okay, so before we get started, I want to say a quick story about this situation here. A fellow member of the community had reached out to me and said that after updating to the latest switch firmware, which is right now 16.0.1, they lost the function of their sys module mission control. Now, for those of you that do not know what mission control is, it is pretty much a Bluetooth module that allows you to pair third-party Bluetooth controllers. So, for example, PS4, Xbox One, I think PS5, and controllers like that. There's a big long list, but I'll leave a link in the description to the GitHub of mission control so that way you can check that out if you're interested. But this member had to downgrade their firmware in order for this to work. But they did ask me if there was something that I can look into, and I went ahead and did that, added the files that they had from the GitHub to my pack, thinking that maybe something went wrong along the way. But I also had problems. I'm also on 16.0.1. I have just a black screen, just like they did, and there's no boot from custom firmware. There's not even boot from the Switch sysnet. So I checked on the GitHub, and the last release was for support of 16.0.0, and I couldn't believe that it didn't work for 16.0.1. It's such a small update, but I guess that is true. So I told the member, usually with these kind of things, we have to wait for the dev to update their files in support of any type of firmwares or updated firmwares, and that's pretty much where we're at. I said the only other option that I have is that I can possibly update the app myself to support 16.0.1, but that's a huge maybe because I really don't know what I'm doing. I do have a drive with Linux that is set up with all the files and things like that necessary to build and or update custom firmware apps. So thanks to the community that helped me set that up, and I did that last night. I rebuilt, or I built the mission control with the updated files for I think it's called libnx, that updates these custom firmware apps or something like that. Like I said, I really don't know. I know how to update if it's possible. So I tried doing it myself and found that I have access now. I added the files that I built to my SD card, and now it seems to be working just fine. So that's what we're going to do today. I hope it works for you like it works for me, but we're going to go through this together. So with that being said, let's go ahead and continue. All right, so the first thing we need to do is open up our SD card and have it ready for file transfer. The second thing that you need is you need to have the latest custom firmware on your SD card, especially if you're going to use this for the switch firmware 16.0.1. So with the custom firmware that you need already on your SD card, it should be the latest right now, which is Atmosphere 1.5.1. So once you have all that set up, then we should be good to go to download this 1-zip file for today. So if you look in the description down below, there's going to be several links, and one of them should say the mission control 16.0.1, the other side zip file or something like that. Once you click on that link, it should take you to the release page of my GitHub, and here you'll see the files that we need. So it says right here the latest version is support for 16.0.1, and all I did was just put updated support for firmware 16.0.1. So like I said, I'm not the dev. I did not update anything fancy or anything else. Whatever the last update had was 16.0.0 is going to be pretty much the same with this version that I built here, because I didn't do anything else. I just seem to have added support for the firmware 16.0.1. So in this page here, we're going to want to go down to the assets area, and we're going to download this 1-zip file for today. So if you don't see what I see here, it's probably because your assets tab is closed. Just click on assets, and we're going to want to download this 1-zip file. Mission control 16.0.1, the other side zip. Just go ahead and download that zip file, and then you can have it dragged to the desktop like I have done already. So now what we can do is minimize this, and we're going to look at this zip file here. We now need to extract these files using our zipping software, and I always use and recommend 7-zip. It always works for me. Have never had any issues. But if you want to follow along with me with 7-zip, I'll leave a link to download that in the description as well. But with 7-zip, I'm going to open the archive, and it has the same files that Mission Control has. All you need to do is highlight these two folders here and extract them to the root of your SD card. So this would be the root of your SD card, which is the main area of your SD card without being inside any type of folders. So this is the root here, and we're going to want to highlight these folders and extract them into this empty space of the SD card. You're not going to want to extract them into any of these folders because it's not going to work. So extracting them here allows them to get into their directory where they need to be, that with the files that they have inside these folders. So now that we extracted the files, that's pretty much it. So we can go ahead and eject out of the SD card and try it out. And a good way to tell that it's going to work is if your custom firmware boots. Of course, to test the controllers, which we're going to do that later. But if your custom firmware boots and your switch boots, then it should be okay. But we'll test those both things out right now. So let me go ahead and eject, and we'll test out the switch. Okay, so with the switch, let's go ahead and click home. We're going to click on launch, click the middle option, or if you which option you need to use with custom firmware, and see if it boots. All right, logo. So if everything goes well, which it looks like it is, I only had black screen the entire time as soon as I injected. So I saw my boot logo, then black screen. So if this boots, then we should be fine. Okay, so that was a good sign. Let's go ahead and enter it, and I'll see you when I get on my switch. Okay, so here in the switch home menu, in order to pair your third-party controllers, so I'm going to use the PS4 controller for example, because that's what the member was mentioning about their PS4. What you want to do with these controllers, you're going to want to go into the controllers applet, and then we're going to want to go into change grip order. And here is where you're going to pair your devices. So for example, let's see if it reaches from here to where my switch is. But to pair this, you're going to want to hold the share and the home button, and let's see it pop up. So I went to pair, and now it is paired. So, oops, there you go. Can't put it on my controller. There you go. It works. It works just fine. So it's gonna unpair, but I'm gonna do it again just so that way you can see. So it should go off, not paired. And I'm gonna hold the buttons again. There you go. And everything should be working just fine. So that's pretty much it, guys. I hope it works for you. You can let me know if it does work for you. Let me know if it doesn't work for you. But everything seems to be running okay with me. I'm gonna try it again. There you go. Oop, I took a screenshot with the middle button. There we go. I think it works the same way like this. Yeah. It just gets confusing because the buttons are, I think, backwards on here, than on the switch controllers and stuff like that. But all right, like I said, let me know if it works for you. If you even are interested, if you want to try it, let me know if it does work for you. If it doesn't work for you, I can try and help you as best as I can. I'm really happy that I was able to do this because there's a lot of things that I cannot do. I try and do it myself with my Linux drive, but like I said, I don't really know what I'm doing, but it feels like it worked out here. So, oh yeah, since I'm going to show you, let me go into system settings and scroll all the way down, and I am on 16.0.1. So there you go. So there you go, guys. Everything's working for me. Like I said, I hope it works out for you. Leave a comment down below what you think. Thank you everyone for watching my videos, for waiting for me to upload things. This is actually something that I did pretty fast, and I really don't like to be late on the videos that I post. But you know, I got my job that takes a lot of time, and got my family, my newborn baby. So a lot of time passes, and I don't have a lot of time for myself at the moment. But I'm trying. Thank you everyone that supports me still. I really appreciate it. I love you guys, and I'll see you on the next one.